Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and for Jonathan his son, for the people of the Lord and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. 2 Samuel chapter 1, verse 12. How would you respond if you heard something bad happen to someone who had been trying to kill you for several years? King Saul seeks to kill David for many years before he is thrust into battle against the Amalekites. In this final battle, a sword kills Saul. When the news reaches David, instead of rejoicing that his enemy is no longer a problem for him, he responds in a totally different manner. He mourns. Imagine that. He mourns for the one who sought to kill him. This is a sign of one who can look past an individual who is the source of pain and consider how God views him. God looks on that individual and sees his needs and knows why he responds the way he does. When we begin to see people as God does, we will no longer look at them as enemies, but as souls in need of God's grace. This is how Jesus can give of his life for us. He sees our great need, not what we do to him. When someone wrongs you, do you seek to retaliate, or do you pray to understand the need behind the offender's actions? Once a man said, quote, "For several years there was a person in my life who was a source of constant pain and retaliation toward me. There was seemingly nothing I could do to change it. Yet God allowed me to go beyond the person's actions to understand the source of his need. When I gained that understanding, God gave me a picture of this person inside a prison cell and in bondage. This bondage made him respond to life in this way. I was able to pray for him and genuinely love him in spite of the fact that he persecuted me." End quote. This is the kind of love Jesus wants each of us to have when he tells us to love our enemies and pray for those who spitefully use us. I believe God does a special work of grace in those who go beyond the realm of normal response to persecution. He brings us to a level of grace we never dreamed possible. Describing how God works in Joseph's life, Francis Frangipane, in his book entitled Place of Immunity, reveals what happens when we tap into this grace. Quote, "God made him fruitful in the very things that afflicted him. In the land of your affliction, in your battle, is the place where God will make you fruitful. Consider even now the area of greatest affliction in your life. In that area, God will make you fruitful in such a way that your heart will be fully satisfied and God's heart fully glorified. God has not promised to keep us from valleys and sufferings, but to make us fruitful in them." End quote. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
Beyond the clouds of greed and hatred, beyond the gloom of war and sin, beyond the lowering clouds of sorrow, the sun will soon shine through again. Do not despair when days are darkest. Do not lose hope when clouds hang low. Beyond the clouds the sun is shining. 'Twill soon break through with cheerful glow.
Beyond the cloud, the dismal cloud, beyond the
Just beyond the grief and pain,
beyond the strife of earthly life, the sun will shine.
bright the sun will shine again.